My name's Sarah Brown, and I am an ICU nurse. It's been a very, very difficult year, frankly. A lot of the nurses that I know got into the profession to help people, and it's really difficult when it feels like there's nothing you can do to help. So it's been pretty discouraging, truthfully.
For Sarah Brown, the job is taxing, physically and emotionally.
It's been a lot of swinging back and forth from using negative coping mechanisms like Netflix binging and overeating to trying to find a balance between, getting outside and journaling.
Matt Calzia, a registered nurse, says even before the pandemic, there were challenges with workloads and staffing.
Right. And the reality is nurses were at like a burnout rate of around 40% pre-pandemic, and now you're looking at 70%, and that's just not sustainable.
There's definitely been some moments where I've questioned if, nursing is something that I want to keep doing.
So knowing they're appreciated and are making a difference is important.
I am Sally Bainey from the Marie Lamprecht Charitable Foundation. That's my grandma, Marie. My grandmother was a nurse in World War I.
To support nurses and other healthcare workers, the Marie Lamprecht Charitable Foundation has donated more than $1 million to over 60 organizations in Oregon and Washington.
Swedish was one of those recipients we're very grateful about. My name is Marga Baikonen. I am the Regional Chief Nursing Officer for Swedish Medical Center in Seattle.
The hospital system received $25,000 for mental wellness classes.
We're looking for ways to help people now process what they've actually witnessed in the last year and a half.
As much as I see the pain that's being experienced, I also am really proud of how everyone has handled it.
As for the recognition from National Nurses Week, Matt Calzia says while the love is much appreciated, he hopes hospital systems as a whole make a concerted effort to prevent burnout by hiring on more staff, allowing for adequate breaks, and truly promoting wellness. Christine Pedowanich, KGW News.